All right, welcome back to the Bet Vetted channel. It's Wednesday, July 1st. We got three games, including the United States playing tonight against Bosnia and Herzegovina. But we have three, I think, really good games on the schedule today. I'm gonna cover each one of them. I'm gonna give you my best bet. I think I have a good grip on these games, but again, I was 2 out of 3 yesterday. The only one I missed was the Mexico Ecuador game. Ecuador brought basically nothing to the table. And we were under 2.5 goals, which I suggested as the best course of action for that particular game. But I did take Ecuador on the double chance plus under 2.5. So I count it as a miss. Um, but it did go under 2.5. The other two games we did get, but of course those were not plus money bets. So those were the easy ones. Again, I call it as it is. But we were 2 out of 3 yesterday. But let's go ahead and try to make it 3 out of 3 today. We're going to go ahead and get started with this first game. All right, so the first game we got England going up against DR Congo, and I do apologize for the few of you that are listening out there on how late this video is coming out. I know this is a game being played at noon Eastern time, and it's like I'm recording this at 11:40. Um, at any rate, England versus DR Congo. I have not liked what I've seen out of England. I think I kind of expected this. I think when Thomas Tuchel picked this team, I'm like, where the hell is Palmer? Where the hell is Phil Foden? Where the hell is Trent Alexander-Arnold? How can you leave your best talent just at home? I didn't get that. I understand that international football, soccer is different than any other. Like, I'm American, different than any other American sport where it's so built on being in form. But still, you can't leave talent like that on the board, especially when you have a back line in England that is susceptible to conceding. So you're going to need players that are able to create, that are able to score goals. Once you get further into the tournament and you're down, 1-0. Okay, what are you going to do then? Okay, when you got a bunch of players like Anthony Gordon, I have no clue what Barcelona is doing buying this guy at 80 million. He looks slow. He looks just pedestrian there on the left side. I have not liked what I've seen out of him. I honestly, I've never been too hot on him. He has scored some goals there for Newcastle, but I've never been too hot on him as far as a top level winger in international football. I just don't see it. But getting back to this game, with that being said about England, I have liked what I've seen out of DR Congo. They've competed. They've in the last game they scored goals. They've shown the ability to not concede goals. And play pretty solid defense, relatively speaking. But they're going up against an England squad here where I think it's just going to be a little bit too much for them. But I would not be surprised if this is a close game. Okay, I wouldn't at all. I think England has definitely struggled to score goals consistently. And I think DR Congo has shown an ability to defend. I do see England winning this game. I feel skeptical about even putting them on the money line, but I will take them to win in regular time. But I'm going to take Congo +3. And what that means is they can't lose by more than 2 goals. Okay. So, I can easily see this a 1-0 victory for England, 2-0 victory for England, 2-1 victory, 3-1, something like that. I mean, I'd be surprised if it's 3-1. But who knows? I mean, England has shown in that game against Croatia that they can get the job done and put goals on the board, but I just can't see them doing it consistently. Um, Harry Kane is, one of the best strikers of our generation, but when he puts on that England shirt, I mean, he's the all-time leading goal scorer, but so it sounds weird to even say that, the pressure gets to him, but we'll see as we go farther along in this tournament. But for now, let's go ahead and take England on the money line and Congo +3. You can get that at -115. Next game up, 4 o'clock Eastern game, Belgium versus Senegal. Um, Even more so than England, I have not liked what I've seen out of Belgium. I think this team has been probably the biggest disappointment of the competition. But with Germany going out the other day, I'm not going to put Netherlands in that category because they haven't been as much of a just a shambles as a team like Belgium. Belgium, again, they scored some goals when it mattered in their last matchup, but I don't trust this team. Maybe if Lukaku's in there, that he can get a goal for him. But I don't know what it is with this Belgium team. I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's just a lack of clinical finishing. They have a guy, a generational talent, a guy that I love in terms of his ability to create and I don't know what it is with this Belgium team, but even more so than England, this is a team that I don't trust. I don't trust them to score consistently, even though I think they can. You just don't see it in these big competitions. Okay, in the Euro, in the World Cup, and we've seen this in the last World Cup. We've seen this in the Euro. We're seeing it now in the 2026 World Cup edition. So, I mean, but Senegal on the other side, they haven't necessarily had a good competition either. I'm not sure what was going on, but they really put it together. And of course, it helps when you're playing against nine men. Um, a nine men side over there. So this is it's just a weird situation here with this game because I think a lot of people are going to go on Belgium side. I'm on the other end of the spectrum. I think the Senegal side is a really really good team. I think they have some really good players. I love Sar Ishmael Sar for from Crystal Palace. I think that guy is going to be a star. I think there's going to be some big clubs that are going to be looking to buy him and probably maybe even in this window, but maybe next su- next summer. Excuse me, I'm not sure. But I like Senegal in this matchup. I like them to advance. I even like them on the money line. I'm taking them to advance to be on the safe side. You can get that at plus money, plus 137. I could be wrong here, okay? And Belgium can come out and be the best Belgium we've ever seen. I'm going to take Senegal to advance. Okay, I wouldn't mind seeing it on the money line either. I could completely understand it if you pick Belgium on the money line or to advance. I completely understand that as well. But I'm going with Senegal. All right, now we have the big one here. United States going up against Bosnia and Herzegovina, and I'm on the United States here. I am. Even though I didn't like what I seen out of them in the game against Turkey last week, I still think, hey, that was basically a B-side team, a second team for the United States that they put out there. Sure, they had some of their starters out there, and they were still able to score a couple goals. They were still able to compete with a first team Turkey aside. So, I like what I'm seeing out of the United States in terms of their ability to control the midfield. Tyler Adams, I've always said this, he's the most important player for this team in the midfield with his ability to do pretty much everything, to win balls, to bring the ball up to the to the wide players and things of that sort, or just to get the ball up from the back line, um, and to be able to even put a goal in here and there. So I like what I'm seeing out of the midfield and them being able to control the ball and win balls and to get it up to their wide players like a Pulisic or a Fullerin Balogun, excuse me, and even a Serginho Dest, who's done a lot of stuff coming up in playing as that inverse winger on the right side. Um, I do like what I'm seeing out of this squad, and I think their main um, vulnerability is in their defense. I think this team has some good defenders, and a guy like Chris Richards. I think Tim Ream is still able to do quite a bit for this team considering his age. But I do like the United States to win. Listen, Bosnia is no pushover. Anyone that's thinking that the United States are going to come in here and win this game 4-0, I think that's probably a pipe dream. But I do think they will pull it off. I wouldn't be surprised if this game is tied at halftime and the United States pull it off in the second half. How I like to play on this is Bosnia plus two. Okay, so that just means that the United States are going to win by one goal. So I think that's what's going to probably happen. I'm taking that. You can get that at minus 125. I'll tell you another good bet that I like is to take the United States on the money line and then take Bosnia plus three. Combine those into a same game parlay. You'll be able to get plus money and you protect yourself. Like, for instance, on this Bosnia and Herzegovina plus two, the United States can only win by one goal, or conversely, Bosnia can only lose by one goal. But if you take the United States, you think they're going to win on the money line. And I thought about putting that on here, but I'm just kind of, I don't even know if this is playing it safe, but again, you take the United States on the money line and then add to that same game parlay Bosnia plus three. You'll actually get plus money on that. I think it's plus 105. That may be what I play. I have on here Bosnia plus two. I really feel like the United States will only win by one goal. Again, this Bosnia team is no pushover. They have some players, they play well together, and they play these tightly contested games, okay, where you're not going to see them beat by 3 to 4 goals. I don't think that's going to happen. But they don't score a whole bunch. But they play good defense. They play good, solid football. This could be a cagey affair, but I do like the United States, but I do also like Bosnia plus two, or conversely, the United States money line. All right, that's all I got for you for Wednesday, July 1st. Good luck with your bets. Go USA. Get it done. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.